welcome back to Rocky Mountain Homestead, and in today's video I'm going to share with you my absolute favorite whipped tallow balm recipe. We are on our last jar, and that's not okay. I use this every day. I use it on my face and I use it on my body. My kids use this. It is absolutely a wonderful, nourishing cream that is filled with so many important vitamins and oils that your skin definitely needs, and I mean I use it all the time, and I can see a difference when I am running out of it or when I am out of it. My daughter, actually, she has hypothyroidism. She is on medicine for it, but a lot of the times, unfortunately, she suffers from really dry skin on her hands, and she'll get splits, she'll get cracks, she gets really, really bad dry skin. And since she has used this, she hasn't had any more episodes. I'm not claiming that this heals anything, but I will claim that this has definitely made a big difference with my daughter's skin, and I haven't seen her have those issues since she started using it. So take that with a grain of salt, but I'm just sharing my personal experience and testimony for our family. And honestly, this is like ancestral skincare. Our ancestors relied a lot on animal fats in the past for protecting their skin, moisturizing their skin, and also healing their skin. So this is, I think, a tried and true type thing. I'm going to take you guys along and show you just how easy this is to make up in your home. So for this recipe, you will need 1/2 cup or 4 ounces of rendered beef tallow. You will also need 2 tablespoons, which is just under 1 ounce of extra virgin olive oil. And then this, you don't have to do. I personally do this, and I love to. I add a teaspoon oil or a teaspoon extra of a type of oil that's good for your skin. So that could be almond oil. Today I'm using jojoba oil. You can use sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, whatever you like, whatever you have on hand. So just 1 teaspoon of jojoba oil today, and then you're going to want to use 20 drops of essential oils. I have many different blends for many different uses because essential oils have a lot of important properties that you can benefit from. But today I'm actually going to use 10 drops of frankincense and 10 drops of myrrh because this is a really good anti-aging type of blend for your skin. It also helps promote an even skin tone, and this is just really overall, it has a lot of good benefits. You can use lavender. I do use lavender a lot, or you can use these oils. You can infuse your oils with some calendula on the stovetop, and that has really good medicinal properties in it. But today I'm just going to be sticking to my essential oil blend. Okay, this is not normally what I would use for my little double boiler system here, but my bowl is actually in the dishwasher. So I emptied out the 1/2 cup of tallow into this, and I'm just going to get this to heat up enough so it melts and is easier to work with. Okay, so now that I have this completely melted, I am going to add in my 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm just going to mix that a little bit together. And I'm also going to add in 1 teaspoon of my jojoba oil. Once again, you can use whichever oil that you want to add. You don't even have to add it. I just like to put a little bit more benefits into my mixtures so I can get the most out of my tallow balm. Okay, and my bowl actually holds a lot of heat. Unfortunately, these bowls hold a lot of heat. So this is out of the dishwasher now, and I'm going to take these oils in this bowl because it's still so hot. And I'm going to just add them in to this new bowl because I'm going to be putting this into the freezer. I want it to solidify a little bit before I whip it up. And I actually have a lid for this bowl, so the quicker I can get these oils cooled to whip, the better. So I am now going to add in my 20 drops of essential oils, starting with frankincense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 frankincense, and then I'm just going to do 10 of the myrrh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one was a little bit slower. Okay, and now that we have those essential oils in, I'm just going to mix this together until it is incorporated. I'm going to pop a lid on this because I got to put it in the freezer, and Lord knows I do not have much freezer space. So that is why I don't do a lot of freezer things, but I'm going to pop a lid on this. All right, now I put it in the freezer and I got a lid on it. I put the timer for 40 minutes. I usually do between 30 to 40, but because that was still warm, I did go with 40 minutes. You don't want it to solidify all the way, but you definitely want it solidified a little bit so it actually can get whipped up, because as you whip it, it creates heat, and you want it to hold its form. So it's a whipped body butter. On a side note, it's been really hard to do videos this week because this is my ring light stand, you guys. My lighting's horrible right now. I know. I have one coming this week from Amazon, a new ring light. But I don't know what happened. Not only is the stand broke, but the actual ring light itself broke. So it's been a couple days since I could do a video, and that's kind of why I apologize for the lighting, and I will see you guys back in 40 minutes. Right, you guys, so it has been about 40 minutes, and if I take my lid off, it's pretty solidified. So I am going to go ahead and get my hand mixer out. I'm going to take my hand mixer and I'm going to blend this. See how it's like not all the way solidified, but I can still push the mixer through. Now you are going to want to mix this with a hand mixer on high for about 3 to 5 minutes. Me personally, after about 3 minutes of whisking this on high, it is the consistency that I actually like it to be. It's light and airy and creamy. All right, I know with the lighting this is hard to tell, but by my window this is a gorgeous white color. I know it looks yellow on camera, but I blended mine for about 3 minutes. That's the perfect consistency for me, as you can see. And I am going to share with you how to get this bottled up and stored. I like to store this tallow balm in these cute little quilted jars. These are made by Ball, and they're just 1/4 pints, so they're 4 ounces. And I just brought my box up to show you how I am going to be getting this in the jar. Now, if you've been around my channel for any length of time, you already know how I do my icings in my piping bag. This is going to be no different. You do not have to use a tip. I personally am using a tip, and this is a Wilton 1M tip. And I am just going to snip the bag and put the tip through. I'm going to put the piping bag in and wrap the excess around my quart jar. I personally find this is the least messiest way to get it into the jar. You can just spoon yours in, whatever you want to do. I am just going to scoop a little bit in here in the piping bag. And this frankincense and myrrh blend is, oh my gosh, it smells so nice. And if you're worried that tallow might have a really beefy smell, or that you're gonna walk around smelling like beef, I know a lot of people think that. I know there's tallow out there. I really think it's what type of tallow you get, honestly, but I have not had an issue with this specific brand that I use, and I'm gonna have it linked down below in the description box, as well as all the ingredients, so that you can get this made up in your home. This makes a great gift for others, and obviously if you're doing a gift for others, you would be wearing gloves. This is just for my family, and my hands are washed, so that is perfectly fine with me. And then I'm just going to carefully pull up this excess, all in a bag. There we go. And I'm just going to gently squeeze this down into the tip. I'm going to open up my jar, and personally, this is how I do it, okay? And I know you can't, I don't have the best angle for you, but what I'm gonna do is straight in the middle of the jar, I'm just going to kind of make like a little flower. I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit out there, okay? And then I'm going to squeeze lightly. This is where I wish I had my lighting, because I'm kind of shadowing. But I'm just going to squeeze and swirl, and as I squeeze, I'm just going around and around, and then I'm going right in the middle, and kind of ending it and making just a little flower shape. And actually, I'm going to go one more layer. This is close to the rim, but that's okay. There you go. And you can just kind of shake it in place, but it gives it a nice, beautiful look to it. And that is it, you guys. Now, as for storage uses, I personally like to use these little 4-ounce jars because the taller you go with your jar, even wide mouth, it's going to be hard to kind of get in there, and you want to be able to easily, you know, it be easily accessible for you to get to. So I think these 4-ounce jars are absolutely perfect. I keep mine in a cool, dark place. So, you know, kind of like, think of your pantry, a cool, dark place. You don't really want this in sunlight. That obviously wouldn't be good because these are all oils, and if it sits in sunlight, what can happen is you can get a little bit of separation. And I'm going to, where's my jar? Hang on. All right, you guys, I'm losing my mind. I have no clue where that little jar of my tallow balm that I originally showed you in the beginning went, but this one I got in my bathroom is completely empty. And all I was going to show you, I can't really show you now, but if you have it exposed to sunlight or like sitting in front of a window, mine, for example, was sitting in front of my kitchen window for about a week on that little stand because I like to use it after I do dishes. You'll just see, and it was kind of the perfect example, but basically the bottom, you'll just see a little bit of yellow liquid, and that's just kind of the separation of the oils from kind of melting from being exposed to the sunlight and creating heat. So that's why you want to store it in a cool, dark place. As far as how long of a shelf life this has, at room temperature in a cool, dark place, 4 to 6 months in an airtight jar like this. You can put it in the fridge to extend its life, maybe like a year or so, I'd say. It definitely is going to get harder. It will melt as you're rubbing it in, but it's not going to be that whipped texture, which is kind of the point we were going for here. I have heard some people say that they've stored it for up to a year at room temperature and had no problems. So because it has oils in it, things do go rancid. Obviously, if it smells off or has a little bit of discoloration to it, I know my lighting was really hard to see, but it is a pure white color in the end. So if you have any discoloration or it kind of smells a little rancid and bad, then obviously it needs to be used much quicker. But 4 to 6 months, perfectly fine. And yeah, I hope that answers all your questions. If you have any more, leave them down in the comments section below. I hope you guys give this a try. It is our family's favorite. So I will see you guys on the next video. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed to learn many other different skills that I'm going to be teaching on my channel for self-sufficiency and a cleaner, more natural approach to everyday living. See you on the next video. Until then, take care and God bless.